Well, we're here with Lisa Weintraub, my old college friend. It's been a long time,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to have you for a few reasons. One, you have a business in the culinary space, which is always exciting to me because
Mhm.
I'm a big foodie. But you're also on TV, so a lot of cool things going on.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about you and sort of how this, well, one, sort of leaving college, getting into the food business, and then how this happened with being on TV now too.
Yes. Well, shout out to the U for bringing us together. It's all about the U.
That's
Love
right. Go
connecting with,
Canes.
yes, go Canes. Love connecting with alumni out in the world a decade later after,
Yeah.
college prepared us for being who we are, and now we're out in the world flying. And I have two companies, Plates by Lisa and Batch Best Friend, and most recently was on season 26 of Big Brother. So we could add reality TV star to the resume.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me about the Plates by Lisa and Batch. Is it Batch Best Friend? Yeah.
Yes, it
So
is.
tell me about those businesses. How did you get into them? Why'd you start them? What's your passion around those businesses?
Yes, definitely. So at University of Miami, I studied entrepreneurship, marketing, and sociology. I always wanted to do my own thing and to really create my own path and pave the way for the culinary business and reinvent something different. So I wanted to change the way we experience food and connection. And this was before kind of personal chefing was a thing. I wanted to originally open up my own restaurant. That experience started with a no. They wouldn't rent a space to me. So my
Mm,
entrepreneurial mind figured out how to turn my no into a yes. I started bringing the restaurant experience into people's homes, doing meal prep and then doing catering, being very open to what people wanted, as well as creating my expertise along the way, following my passion and dream, and incorporating everything that I find meaningful in life into the business
sure.
world, which is the catering company, Plates by Lisa. Over 10 years, it has expanded beyond meal prep. I do catering and production now. I work with high end clients and celebrities. I have a team of over 15 people, and I just launched my second company, Batch Best Friend. About 2 years ago, I wanted to change the bachelorette industry. Bachelors can enjoy as well, and it is for the batch specific party vibe weekend where we do catering with glitter, good vibes, and tailored packages for the celebratory weekend. And I really wanted to integrate that into the party space. You could take the party girl out of Miami, but you can't take the Miami out of the party girl. So
The glitter
I
remains.
Exactly. So I launched Batch Best Friend to create accessibility in the world so young professionals and young creatives just like myself can enjoy the experience. And I'm always a businesswoman first, and I want to create ways for people to access food in a different way and not just to
Mm,
one specific clientele. So that's how that came about. And I was
cool.
like, 10 years in Miami, train me for this. I'm ready. Here's some margaritas. Here's some shots. Here's some glitter. We do it in crop tops. I have an amazing team. And my hope is to expand in the top 5 bachelorette uh, places around the world so that everyone can enjoy the experience.
That's pretty cool. The
Yes,
so the catering business, so it's meal prep, and now it's more about experiences, it sounds like.
exactly.
What's been like the metamorphosis of that? How'd that come about? Like, and where do you see it going long term with what you're building with your team?
Yes, I am so excited and so grateful. I think the best piece of business advice is to be open to how you can adapt to what the clientele needs along the way and not being so narrow minded in one thing. And so, as I had an open mind, I started with meal prep. Someone was like, "Hey, do you cater?" And I think the first person I catered for, I was like, "Yeah, of course I cater." Had never catered before, but fake it till you make it, right? And
Yeah.
I had a knack for it, and I catered. I think I set off the fire alarm at my first event. That just means it's hot in the kitchen, but
That's right.
learn through experiences, you learn through ups and downs, and There's no fire alarms going off now, don't worry.
Yeah.
But Plates by Lisa really evolved from just being meal prep to scaling, and I really wanted to scale the business, and I had to figure out how to take myself and my idea and myself as a chef, and that comes with a team. And I made the intentional decision to grow beyond myself. And I built a team of amazing employees. I trained them in new systems, and I do catering and production now. I moved away from meal prep and into the catering production space. It is amazing. And I love being up front and face to face with clients instead of more behind the scenes, which meal prep was. And now
Sure.
I'm in front of the scenes, um, connecting with clients, creating their experiences, making their memories meaningful, and being part of making that all happen. And so
That's
my
pretty cool.
vision, yeah, my vision with Plates by Lisa is just to keep creating these milestone memories for people. I like to think that my business, anyone can cook and anyone can cater, but that intangible aspect of that feeling that connects us all as human beings,
Sure.
that's hard to capitalize on. And a lot of times, our industry is about technology and different advancements that are easy to the trained eye to see for an easy investment. But for myself, and for the world that's evolving right now, we need more connection and we need more meaningful experiences. And we need to ground in those moments of our friends and family and laugh and celebrate and love around food. And that's what I get to do. I hope to keep expanding my team and just catering events,
Yeah.
LA and beyond. And wherever I'm needed, good food and good people will follow.
That's pretty cool. And as somebody who appreciates the culinary arts, and my gut will say that I'm always hungry. And I enjoy
Same.
cooking, right? I enjoy cooking, and I appreciate the experience and the effort that goes into the art. And I can say that every time I've been to an experience where there was like a passion for the production, the appreciation I have for that person, is sort of unmeasurable because it's a core memory that you like maybe retain, whether it was a
Exactly.
tasting or so could appreciate what you're doing for people, especially if they're using you for special events that are important in their lives, right? So it's pretty neat. You said
Exactly.
you've grown a team. How has the team evolved from sort of inception to today? What's that looked like?
It's so different, and it's a great it's a I love that you said core memory. That's what, as we move out of our 20s and into our 30s, I feel like we're finally a little bit more into our adulthood, a little bit more
Yeah.
grounded, and we value core memories, and those matter. And so to be able to curate those, that's very meaningful. As far as the team, that has evolved from the very beginning. I think I always had a vision, and I didn't know how to. I'm only one person, and there's so much 12 to 15-hour days you can do until you burn out. So I needed to have a team and help and ask for help. And as an entrepreneur, it's sometimes difficult to ask for help or to teach people what's in your mind and make that a reality. So it just came from communicating. I operate my team by always communicating transparently and creating that space so that the team can thrive together. They're helping me, but I'm also helping them. And it's creating that synergy in terms of our company culture. As far as communication, I want it to be in an empowered space for everyone. And I want all of the vibes to be high ones. So, high vibration in my workplace, good attitude, positivity, and people that have a similar mindset that they want to work hard, complete tasks. And that also comes from learning. Employees are a whole other set of
Yeah.
responsibilities. And so, it's had to be done meticulously. That's why we have contracts. When I was a one person business, it's evolved into contracts and systems and guidelines and rules for people to understand so I can teach my baseline to teach how to have the relationships that I've cultivated with clients. And so that trickles down to my team. When someone invites me into their home, I see my team as extensions of myself. So I've had to train my team to keep cultivating the relationships that I have and take that meticulous care behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. And situations always pop up, but I am an entrepreneur
Right.
and I will always handle it and figure out how to handle it because that's what I have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, right? Resilience. I've had many conversations with entrepreneurs, and it's just about getting back up when something doesn't go quite right and keeping on with your mission. Um,
Exactly.
that so you mentioned culture and vibes, and my tagline is vision, vibes, and profit of this
Love it.
podcast.
There you go.
So I agree with that, and team culture is important, and having people align to your expectations and so the caliber of work you want done. What's been what's been sort of your process to find the right people, retain the right people, and then also maybe exit those who aren't such a fit for the mold in which you need? Have you handled things like that, or have you had any challenges there?
Yeah, there's always challenges every day that you face as an entrepreneur, and I like to face them head on and address them directly. So, how I find people is honestly through network. You know how, like, when your friends meet your friends and then everyone loves your friends because it's like-minded? The
Yeah,
same way goes with the employees. So they know the kind of work that needs to be done. They know the mentality that you need to have to be in this environment. And people will either come to them looking for jobs, and kind of that resource will be in the circle of the company. So those referrals are always in network because those like-minded aspects of someone that's hardworking will remain in that circle. So I recruit from, hey, do you
yeah,
know someone for bartending? Hey, do you know someone for being a PA? Hey, do you know someone for event production? And everyone always knows someone. And in this industry, a lot of the people that work for me are artists, they're dancers, they're actresses, they're models, they're creatives. And it goes hand in hand with the catering business that there's a lot of gig work that creatives have, and there's just that synergy that remains in the space.
sure.
As far as handling conflict within a team, that always exists. And to maintain a healthy workplace, it's also part of it to have conflict brought to you and then to handle it. And it's how you move forward. So I always set up meetings with my team to make sure that we are on the same page to address any issues head on. If anything violates different codes of conduct or different systems, if there's room for growth, we'll always address it and have positive feedback, encouraging open dialogue for both people to be heard. And I think it's very important in a professional setting that there's always respect for one of the other. And as a boss and working on a small team, it's inevitable that people become friends and build relationships, but I will always make professional decisions that benefit the company as well as the
Yeah,
culture as well.
yeah. No, 100%. I was talking with someone else about this earlier, when it comes to, being a friend or a family and treating
Mhm.
everybody like family, but, you expect your family to, live up to certain expectations. You should give
Yeah,
everybody in your life the same feedback, and it's not only for the betterment, in my opinion, of my own organization or your organization, but it's for their betterment. I mean, they need to know when they're off base, otherwise who's going to tell them, and so,
exactly.
I expect people in my life to tell me, where hopefully that, and not let me just like fade off into the sunset without having anyone to sort of like stop me, from doing that. So very cool. Where do you see your businesses going, long term? I mean, what's your goal with your company?
Yes, definitely. So, as an entrepreneur, we have goals that pop up all the time. Some are short term, some are long term, but it's always with a vision to create. And I'm very grateful that I get to keep creating and putting it out there. Plates by Lisa, I would love to just keep being the it girl of Hollywood, celebrating milestones all in LA and beyond, and growing the team and growing the number of events that we can do. That always comes with more business coming in, more people coming together to celebrate over food. And I'm here to curate it along with my team. As far as Batch Best Friend, I would love to expand the business to the top 5 batch destinations across the nation and be able to connect people in the party scene, as well as creating a fun catering experience for them to enjoy during their celebratory weekend. And as far as reality star, I would love to have my own show at some point, and I would love to be on these competition shows, keep going in the reality space, to connect with people, to show people who I am authentically, and to diversify everything and anything that I can do.
That's pretty cool. Tell me about the reality TV career. How did this start? What was sort of your foray into that?
I mean, why not Big Brother?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm open to anything in my career. Big Brother, I've always been a fan of. My best friend was like, Lisa, you would be great at Big Brother. You should go on it. And I kind of put that out there in the universe, manifested it. And a year later, I was on Big Brother this season of Big Brother 26. And I really wanted to show how dynamic I could be, and that I can set anything, I could do anything I set my mind to. And that's
Sure.
what I did. I went on, I was evicted because I was a threat, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. I just would love the chance to play even more and to apply the strategy that I have as a businesswoman, which I did going in. I would have loved to get further to kind of implement more of that business strategy, but to take that through the game and to show people that you can play a different kind of game. And I've carved my own path as an entrepreneur, doing things differently in the real world. So why not do that on TV too?
Yeah. Was there anything about that experience you didn't expect?
Probably all of it.
That's funny.
You go in and you don't, the tagline of the show is expect the unexpected, and they do a great job of making you truly, truly live in the unexpected. You have no control over anything. You have to go day by day with an open mind. You have to be able to adapt to any adversity or any situation that comes your way, and just handle it the same way anything happens in business, and you just have to handle it. So that was me every
Yeah.
day at the Big Brother office. But everything about the show, from the characters to the castmates to the day-to-day challenges, everything was completely a wild ride. And I feel like I'm still on the journey of that ride. And it is, it's a doozy, but I would do it again. And it's a wild ride. And I loved it.
That's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
the next step is your own show,
Yes.
culinary experience, or what would be like the main, if you could have any show, what would it be?
I would love to do something in the production vibey, show you like from behind the scenes, carrying forward. Would love to play around in all of the elements that is an experience, and to show you guys what it takes behind the scenes to in front of the scenes, and to bring a lot of entertainment to your TV screens. Would love to show the Bachelorette off, and what it takes for the queen of the Bachelorette scene to make it happen.
All the dynamics of putting together an event with some demanding clients.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
kind of give everyone a taste of what it takes to have everything come to life.
Yeah. That's cool. Um, so throughout all this, right, you're running a few different businesses. You went into a very dynamic TV show.
Hmm.
Um, do you have anybody you rely on, like a mentor, or like obviously you're learning a lot of things as you go, but
Hmm.
do you have anybody that you work with to help you through all these things that you're doing?
I actually don't. I think it would be something that would be very beneficial as a female entrepreneur, especially, to know that you're not alone or that you're not the first one to experience this. I think we need more dialogue in the entrepreneurship space, especially as a female. And I would love that. I think I've met a few people along the way, like my florist who's a female entrepreneur. We talk a lot. I have my meditation and spiritual teacher that I take pieces of and apply. But I think in the business world, a mentor would be really essential. I always feel like I'm mentoring other people
Yeah.
and giving that energy out to my team or other local minority owned businesses and creating that space that I want to have. But I think at some point it'll be time to receive that a little bit back to help me on my journey. And so
Sure.
I'm now at the time where I'm building a team around myself to hopefully keep me elevated in a space as I continue to grow.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, it's great. It's also, impressive, what you've done to be
Hmm.
able to create a few different businesses, do what you're doing in a high demanding space of, producing a show
Hmm.
and doing that and not having guidance. And I feel like, you'd be able to give guidance because you are living
Hmm.
so many things. You can give a lot
Yeah.
of good feedback to others. I found that and there's sort of like a point of diminishing returns with this, but
Yeah.
when you have too many people in your ear about things, but having some people, to ask questions has been very helpful to me because, I don't know
Hmm.
what I don't know in a lot of cases. And the more I've learned, the more I've realized I don't know a lot of things.
Okay.
And, uh, and so I've relied on books and podcasts and, people and whatnot. But primarily, I think the biggest value to me has been having people around me that are living the same entrepreneurial
Hmm.
experience I am living, so that
Yeah.
you can talk through like the crap that no one else understands when we're
Yes.
struggling because you're a business owner and you got to figure it out. Um,
Exactly.
and so yeah, it's nice. That's why I love having these conversations because you hear so many different perspectives. And but we're all like in a similar journey of growth and
Exactly.
just trying to achieve a similar thing, fulfillment and make an impact and build
Hmm.
something cool, right?
Yeah.
Very neat, very neat. So when you're not running the company or being filmed, like right now, or on a bigger production, much
There
bigger
you go.
production, what else is going on for someone like yourself? What else you doing?
Like for fun.
Yeah,
I went to the farmer's market this morning and picked up some local fresh shrimp. I'm going to make myself a beautiful meal and turn that love back to myself. But, other things, I love to travel. I love to experience new cultures and to meet people from all around the world to connect and to become better. You become better by being open to other people's lives and other people's stories, not just in work. So I think there's so much out there to learn. So I love to put that my version of self-care is going out into the world and meeting new people, and I love to experience food along the way and
yeah.
different pieces of cultures from the beautiful hands that create that.
I have a great idea for a podcast, and maybe you'll take this. You can.
Great.
I thought about this, where you get some people together, and every episode's a different person. You make something different as you film the podcast, and just talk about
Mhm.
life while you make some sort of dish with somebody. And
Yeah,
I would love to do that someday. And
sounds
yeah,
great.
it's like
Come over
a
for
studio
dinner.
kitchen. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I would love to do anything cooking and connection. I love food and connection, culture and connection, taboo subjects and food. I would love to combine different aspects of life into different experiences. I would love to kind of maybe do like a pop up dinner club at some point to
That's
have
cool.
dialogue IRL that isn't just like we love podcasting and we love connecting. I love that I can be here and you can be there and we can chat and have these real conversations, and I would love to also incorporate IRL moments to do that as well.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I think that's a fantastic idea, and to have more spaces that encourage that.
What's been the like biggest challenge as you've been doing all this? I mean, that you feel um was one of the hardest things that you've had to work through as you've grown the business, as you've, went on reality TV and managing all these different things going on in your life.
Exactly. I think trying not to be overwhelmed or burnt out, there's only so much that you can do of energy given to every aspect of whether it's a client or a show or production or your team or in a space of, even going shopping kind of thing. I love all aspects of my job, but it's very important to create that balance for yourself. So I remember at the start of my career, I didn't know what burnout was and I didn't know how to have balance or what that looked like. And I had to learn that by kind of hitting rock bottom and being like, I don't feel like a human because all I'm doing is working, right? And so
Mhm.
it's creating that distinction between work and what you have to do. And then when you do have a choice to step away, or when you've built in a team that can run things and you can take a break, it's very important so you don't drown in your own output.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can completely appreciate that. I feel like there's times where I'm doing so much, so much, so much, so much, and all of a sudden I take a step back, like, oh my gosh, like I am just wiped out
Yeah.
from all the things that I got going on. And
Yeah.
you just you sort of don't realize it until you're about to hit critical mass, and you're like, uh oh, this is gonna get bad. Um, how have you sort of identified those markers? Like if somebody's going through and working and what should we be thinking about? What for you was like, hey, I gotta take a step back or realign or reprioritize to get back into the sort of your best self.
Exactly. First off, it comes from knowing yourself and kind of having your foundation of who you are. And if your cup's not full, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So it is
Yeah.
about connecting with yourself first and being mindful enough to just really take a step back when you need to before you hit that breaking point, right? So once you have to kind of experience that and know your limitations or your own boundaries. And then you're like, okay, never again. We're not getting there. So you can kind of feel it if you're a little bit more irritable, if you're under sleep deprivation, if you're missing moments with your family and friends because you're doing something else. At some point, your priorities become a little bit more balanced, and that you realize that you can say no. I think at the beginning of my career, I didn't say no and I couldn't. And
Yeah.
there's no one else to do it but me. But I also identified I don't want to live my life like that. And that's big part of why I grew a team and why I have people on my team so I can step away and be Lisa not in work mode so that I
Yeah.
can travel. I could go to the gym. I can go to the farmers market for me and not just for clients, and take those things that I output and that love that I output into my company back into myself. And I
Yeah.
think that's very important for any entrepreneur to learn how to identify that and then implement that throughout their career, and then take those steps back when they need to and when they can, so that they can keep creating with passion and joy and vibrancy. And if you don't, you'll be creating from a place that isn't as exciting as it can be.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to repeat what you had said earlier, which is you can't pour from an empty cup. And,
Yeah.
people like you and me who are working with a lot of people hand in hand, you spoke about your passion for the work you do for your clients. Like you're putting so much effort into their experience.
Mhm.
You can't do that if you're not, on your game. And so I really can appreciate what you said there. You mentioned earlier, I think a meditation
Yeah.
coach. Tell me about that because I've done meditation on and off for the last, I don't know, maybe 4 going on 5 years here. And when I do it, I really
Mhm.
enjoy it, but I also find it hard have a hard time doing it consistently. Tell me about your experience of meditation, how that's helped you or how do you use that in your life?
You can maybe relate. As an entrepreneurial brain, we always want to be the best versions of ourselves as possible. That goes into our business, that goes into our ethics, that goes into our physical ability, and that also includes the unseen mental ability, right? So, meditating has always been very important to me. I think I learned more meditation and mindfulness during COVID when we
Mm,
really needed to have a space to take care of ourselves so deeply. And so I learned this tool that works for me. It doesn't always work for everyone, but I would greatly encourage it. And not the cliche of go meditate. Meditation really changes your brain waves and your brain chemistry. It really allows you to, something that I love that I heard when I was meditating was, you don't meditate to get good at meditating. You meditate to get good at life.
Mm.
And meditating and the practices that I learn while taking care of my mind, I'm able to apply into my work field when things are stressful, when there's so much overload of information. I'm able to step back, breathe, connect, and navigate a little easier, as well as taking care of my mental health outside of work life. And I've
Yeah.
really noticed a
Yeah.
difference in my days when I do meditate. And I'm with you. I don't always meditate. It is not every day I'm practicing, but when I do, I'm like, I miss this and I need
Yeah.
it. And I encourage myself to, we're like, I don't have 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes. We can
Yeah.
meditate, right?
It's in there
We're like, I don't
somewhere.
have time. It's in there somewhere. I think in the Big Brother house, I like 5 minutes before bed, I would do mindful activities and meditation so that I can go to sleep with a peace of mind with the crazy day that happened with the intake overload of information. And then before any competitions, I would say my mantras, I would meditate. Sometimes I would out loud vocalize them because words are power and that's
Yeah.
all we can do.
Yeah. That that
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing it consistently in the mornings after
Yeah.
working out. I find that it would help me really clear some of the noise out and be able to
Hmm.
take in all the information throughout the day. You know, running a business and having kids and all sorts of things
Yeah.
going on. It's like there's a lot of stuff flying at you at all given time. So
Hmm.
it was helpful to be able to like train the mind to handle all that.
Yeah.
And also just like be able to think about things and not be distracted by everything else.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love that you're doing that. I find that the more people I talk to that are high performing business owners,
Hmm.
athletes, anybody typically do something regarding mindfulness. Maybe not meditation, just maybe mindfulness in general, right? The
Hmm.
overarching strategy. And then what you said there was pretty powerful about being better at life.
Yeah.
Meditation, and I every time I meditate, I get frustrated 'cause I'm like, oh God, I'm horrible at this. But the reality is it's just a little bit of getting better about who you are, right? I mean, that's the reality. Um,
Exactly. And it's one of
yeah.
my favorite things is when you're meeting it with that frustration, right? You're like, oh, my mind's so busy, it won't. Like you keep meditating, keep doing it. And I know you've probably heard that before, but keep doing it because you learn how to. It's like a muscle in your brain, right? It's a
Yeah.
muscle where you're like, this is just a thought. And my teacher sees, you can see the thought pass you by, but you don't have to attach yourself to the thought because we
Sure.
have millions, so many thoughts, like hundreds and hundreds of thoughts a day. We probably had a lot of thoughts during this conversation as well, even though we are focused on each other, right? So our
Yeah.
minds are constantly working. And I think a big game changer for me was realizing that I can have power with my mind and work it better and make it stronger. And once I learned that tool, the sky's the limit for what we can accomplish in life
Sure.
and in
Yeah.
business. And meditation has helped me see that and connect to that and connect to my power as a human being by not allowing my mind to control me.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Um, what's a piece of advice you'd give yourself if you could go back, maybe to college, Lisa? Anything that you would go back if you could, back to the future and be like, hey, here's just one tip. I can only say this one sentence to you. What would it be, if anything?
Oh, wow. Was this when we like there was a lot in college that happened?
Just anything, like anything that you've learned in life that you'd want yourself to know that you feel like would be helpful, or if someone came to you and is like, if someone came to you as a mentor and they're looking for your guidance
Mhm.
that's younger, maybe college age, what would you tell them?
I would say that life is gonna be hard and life is hard, but keep being yourself and honoring who you are, your truth and your authenticity. And you might be doing things differently, but different is beautiful.
Mm,
And keep shining and surround yourself by people that love you.
yeah. I
Yeah.
can say this for sure, as long as I've known you, and I remember this distinctly about you, was
Hmm.
you were always, I think, unafraid to be yourself. And that
Thank
was one
you.
of the best qualities that you have and you had.
Hmm.
And a lot of other people in different communities in college and they find themselves and all that, but you're always
Hmm.
were who you were and you're always fun to be around. You brought a lot of light and good spiritedness to,
Thank you.
the environment. And it's cool to see that you've maintained that and that you've transferred that into a business that's giving it, basically transferring that into the culinary space. And you're doing that obviously with your
Hmm.
career in TV, which is really cool to see.
Thank you.
Um, so yeah, I appreciate that feedback.
Thank
All
you.
right, a few quick questions.
Yeah.
Favorite food?
A burrito.
What kind of burrito?
A shrimp burrito, probably. Yeah.
Is
A
is that
good
what
shrimp burrito.
is that what you're making
Extra
tonight with the
guac.
shrimp?
Oh, that actually is. I did get tortillas. I got like nopal, which is like cactus, like they're like the green tortillas, and
Oh
then maybe I'll do
wow.
shrimp tacos. Love the inspo. Great. Extra guac,
Oh
I'm down.
wow. Okay, sweet. Favorite place that you've traveled or you would like to travel?
Ooh, I loved Bali. Very spiritual, very grounding, and a really beautiful, respectful culture there traveling.
Mm,
And then Croatia, the ocean, the seafood, the culture, the people. I had an amazing experience in both of those places. And on my bucket list is Greece. I really want to
very
backpack
cool.
the islands there and obviously the food and
Cool.
experience the culture there. So that's on the bucket list maybe in 2025.
Okay, very cool. And is there
Hmm.
any other show that you want to be on other than your own that is currently out there today that you're going to manifest?
I'm manifesting the challenge. I would love to go on the challenge. I would love to compete. That would be an absolute dream. I've watched the challenge ever since I was a kid, and I would love to bring my vibes to the challenge. So I'm
I love
manifesting
that.
that. You heard it
Very
here.
cool. You're here first.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. Well, I really appreciate you jumping on with me and sharing your story. It's obviously exciting to catch up with somebody from
Thank you.
the you and to see somebody successful and making a difference. And also using what they're doing in the reality TV space to really bring positivity. So thanks for hopping on for a little bit with me, and
Thank
it's good
you.
catching up.
It's so good catching up. Thank you for having me. And the world always needs positivity and light, and I will be here to bring it.
I love it.